So hope in my previous session I've explained you how to read the data from user, right? And I said you like you tried that program for other arithmetic operation, like for here as I've shown you for addition. Similarly, you have to try it for multiplication, division, and subtraction, mod operation as well, right? So in this, I have explained you how you can perform the arithmetic operation, right? So as I have explained you in my previous session, this how to accept the input from a user, right? And I have shown you like based on the input that you are accepting from the user, how you can perform operation as well. Like here, if you remember, I said you that when you want to accept the input from a user, you have to just add this library scanner sc new scanner system in, right? And once you add it, there are this method next float, next int, right? And once you just type it like this, for example, you just type create one variable character c is equal to sc dot. Once you put this sc dot, you will get several options here, like next big decimal, integer, boolean, byte, next double, float, int, right? So you can create any variable and you can read an input from a user. Now here, even when you want to read a character, you have to just take a next, c next, okay? And once you call this, okay, 1 minute, let me, yeah, change it to string, yeah. Once you change it to this string, you can use either next or next line. Any one of these, both are valid. And based on that, you can perform further operation here. Is it clear to everyone? I think those who have not joined the last class, just wanted to give you one recap on that. In my previous session, I have explained like how to read an input from a user. Let me run this program and show you those who not joined the previous session. So you can see here, I am asking the user to enter the value of A. This program is accepting the value of A and B, and it will going to do the addition based on what user enter. For example, here I am entering user 1, then I'm entering the value 3, and I press enter. So it is giving me addition 4, and then it will going to check it whichever the number is greater, either 1 or 3. So based on that, it will going to give you this. I think those who have not joined the previous session, they might be having a doubt on this. Is it clear to everyone? Like, what is this? How to read an input? Or those who have joined first time, just go to the previous lecture. I will going to share the link with you. This is a Java program. This is a class. Let me remove this public. It's not a mandatory to add a public access specifier. This is a main function, and this program I've written to accept the input from a user. Whatever input the user will going to enter, based on that, it will going to perform arithmetic operation, and it will going to give you the addition. Similarly, we can try this same step for performing multiplication, for performing division, for performing subtraction, and mod operation as well. You just have to change this operator a into b, a divided by b, then a mod b and a minus b. Let me run this program again. So any one of you can tell me any number. Any one of you? Any number. Here I've taken float. Float means it's in a decimal. So any value you can say like what value I should take for a.
20.5, sir.
Okay. Okay, 20.5 are taken. Then for B.
30.9.
Okay. Now I'm going to press enter and it will going to give me, I think might be I will get error because the mod operation won't work with the decimal value. but let's see that what output I get. So here it's working. This mod operation, this plus 30 plus 9, 20. So it is 50, 51.4, 51.4, right?
Excuse me, sir.
Anyone having any question? Okay.
Excuse.
Yes. I can't hear you, Harshit. Can you just send me on the chat? I think there might be network issue at your side.
Sir, I can't see the screen, sir. I can't see the screen.
Okay. What about others?
We are able to see, sir.
Okay. Harshit, I think there's some network issue at your side. Can you just reconnect? Because other can see my screen. Let me just reshare again. But other they can see my screen. You just reconnect once. Okay. So I was saying this is your addition. Second thing is your multiplication. Third is your division. Fourth is your mod operation, modulus. And the fifth one is the subtraction. Okay. So here, let me rerun it once again. And I'm taking a value. I'm taking the same value, what you have said, 30.9 and 20.5, right? I'm just taking the opposite of that, means I just swap the value. I press enter. Addition, you will get the same. Multiplication also you will get same. Division will going to change. Modulus. Modulus will going to change here. You can see here. Modulus means 30.9 divided by 20.5. So when you are going to do the modulus, yes. Can you see the screen now?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So modulus means what? When you make a division of 30.9 to 20.5, it will going to give you remainder. For example, when you divide 20 on 30, so what you will get here? When you divide 20 on 30, so 20 was the 20, right? And you will get the remainder. How much will be the remainder? 10. So modulus will going to give you remainder, and it is the decimal value. That's the reason it is coming 10.4, and the subtraction will also will come 10.4. You can see 9 minus 5 will be 4, 0 minus 0 will be 0, right? And A and B, which one is bigger? A is bigger. So like this, you have to perform an operation. Is it clear to everyone how to read an input from a user? Is it clear to everyone? Okay. Shreya, is it clear to you? I think you might be not out, join the previous session.
Yes, sir. I got it.
Okay. Any one of you who have a doubt on this function next floor, this, so what you can do it, just go through the Google tab and you can just search it here, how to read input in a Java. So you will get several functions. Let me rub this. So here you can get several functions, right? You can see next int, next float, next double, next byte. For string, it will be next line or next. You can use both. Now you can see here, because you can see here I have used next, right? It's command, but for string you can use both. Either you can use next or you can use next line as well. Both will be valid. Okay, so you can use both. And if you can see here, This is for addition. So whenever you want to accept, you just have to add this library scanner SC system in, because you are accepting you are entering the input from a keyboard, right? With this keyboard, you will going to enter a value. That's why we add system.in, and this value will be float, and you will going to call this object of this class. Scanner is one class. Once you put a cursor, you can get a complete detail. You can see on my screen, right? So like this, you have to read, and I given you assignment to try with same thing for multiplication, division as well. But if you have not tried, you can just try it today with some other input and make some modification on that. So this is the thing. Now let's start about the array. So I will going to start array. How?
So in between, for the string data type, for the input, it's just sc dot next and the braces. Why is it not with the data type?
Sorry, I did not get.
Like for the floats, we had sc dot next float. Like the float data type was present. Like in the string, why isn't it there?
Yeah, because like this is a predefined function, and in the string you can accept the whole line, right? So that's the reason they have introduced the line to just tell that string data type you can accept the whole string. So that's why they just create the next function, and this is a predefined function. So while building this programming language, the Java developer, or like the inventor of Java, James Gosling and his team, they decided to take only this next and next line. It's not a user-defined function; it's completely predefined function. So that's why they have not taken string. And another reason is like in a string data type, you can accept the line also, the whole line, so that you can accept the whole sentence as well. So that's the reason they have taken next line. But you can use any one of those. It's interchangeably you can use. So if anyone asks, if you ask this question to anyone, or like if you search in the Google as well, yeah, the same reason you will get it, because it's a predefined function and they have given this name to it. So we are using the same. And the another reason is like a string variable is like a group of character data. So you can accept the whole sentence. So that's why it's the whole line. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now I will going to explain you like an array in a Java or in any programming language. What do you mean by an array? So just wanted to know from you, have you worked on array? What is an array? Can anyone tell me what is an array?
Collection of different data types.
No. No, it's not correct. Collection of data type.
Similar data types, and it has continuous number.
Yeah, correct. An array. Okay. See, don't hesitate. Even if you answer wrong, that is also fine, because you are in a learning state. Okay. So whatever you know, you can feel free to give your views here. You are learning. Okay.
Collection of elements of same data type.
Yeah, this is also good. This is also correct. So what is an array? Array is a collection of homogeneous data type. The most standard definition is an array is a collection of homogeneous data type. What do you mean by this homogeneous? Homogeneous means similar type. And why do we and why the need of array was introduced in any programming language? See, till now we have seen that we were declaring a variable like this, a is equal to 1, and then we are declaring is b is equal to 2, and we are doing addition like this, right? C is equal to a plus b. So here every variable is holding only single data, right? Here the variable is holding only single data. Here also the same, you can see a is a variable which is holding only single data. Now if I say you do the addition of 100 numbers, okay, so is it like a good solution, or it is an optimized way that you are going to declare 100 variable? It will going to occupy the more space, more time it will going to take to develop it, right? You only think that you have to develop or you need to write almost 100 time of variable, something like a1, then after 26 you will going to write a2, again after 26 you will going to write a3, means a3, right? Because you are going to create integer a to z, right? You are going to take a to z, the next variable you are going to take a1 to az, right? There are 26 alphabet, right? So according to this, almost 100 variable you need to create. So what inventor they decide, or what Java developer they think that, suppose you want to declare any variable that can hold a multiple data, then how you can declare it? So you can declare like this. Now you can see this, C is here an array of an integer type, and here in this subscript, this square bracket, I will going to either pass a value that will be the limit of this array, that how many element it can save it. So it will always save an element less than or equal to this number. This you can just think it, this is the size of an array. So here you can see C is an array holding 5 elements, right? And you can see all those elements are same type. What is the type of this element? Integer type, right? Homogeneous means similar type, and heterogeneous, if I say, then it is of different type. Homogeneous means similar type. So don't get confused. If you are not aware, you can just look into this. Homogeneous means similar type. And there is one more thing, is heterogeneous. Heterogeneous means different data type. So this is a homogeneous, this is an heterogeneous, and here this is an array. So array is what? Array is a collection of homogeneous data type, homogeneous data, not data type, homogeneous, it's a data. Homogeneous data you can say, or data of similar data type, or in a short term, or let me write down again here. An array is a collection of an homogeneous data, you can write down, or you can write down in a simple way. An array is a collection of element of similar type of similar data type. Okay, for example, I given you here C is an array. So is it clear to everyone what is an array here? Now we're going to talk about the syntax of an array. Okay, so in this array, if I say here, if I write down like this, let me declare a float array, float f. Here it will be a size and you can so the syntax is this one. First is this one. Second is let me show you. This is another way of declaring an array. This is an integer. This is a float array. Okay. So now here, if you see like what is the size here? Size will be the maximum limit of an element that an array can save. So size is number of elements an array can save. Save, you can say it, or you can say hold as well. So you can say both. Size is a number of element an array can save or hold. So if I say like this example, if I give you, for example, float, okay, or let me take integer a is a name of an array, and this is a size, or let me take 5. So here, how many number of element an array A can hold? An array A can hold 5 elements, and index will be start from 0 to 4. That is size minus 1. That will be, that is 4, right? Let me explain you. Is it clear to everyone this part? Anyone having any question in this?
No, sir.
What about others?
No, sir.
Okay. So here, this A is the name of my array. This is the name of my array. Okay. Now this square bracket. What do you mean by this square bracket? This is called as a subscript. Now, what do you mean by this new keyword? See the line carefully, okay? Don't get confused. This new keyword, it is used to initialize memory to all elements of array. Okay, so it is used to initialize all element of an array. Suppose 5 elements are there, then it will going to provide memory to all the 5 elements. Okay, now this 10 is your what? Here 10 in RHS means right hand side. Okay, don't get confused what is RHS. So here 10 in RHS subscript is size of array or element held by array. Okay, so this is about your array. One thing that is left, what is the type of those elements? So the type of an element, if you can see here, that it will be of integer type. Okay, so this is about your array. So there are two ways. Either you can declare in this way, first one, and this is the second one. But as per your Java standard, the most appropriate way of declaring an array is a below one that I have explained you with a proper example. Okay, this one, the explanation that I've added here, name of an array, subscript, it is used to initialize memory to all element in array. Now I told you integer occupy how much memory in a Java. Does anyone remember? Integer occupy how much memory in a Java? Just search it, like how much memory they occupy. I've
32
already,
bit.
sorry,
32
32
bit, sir.
correct. If you remember in my previous lecture, I've explained you that integer occupy 4 byte of memory, that is your 32 bit. So now here 10 elements are there. So how much memory will going to be required in a RAM? 4 into 10, that will be 40 bytes, right? 40 bytes of memory you need, the compiler will going to assign to the RAM, right? You mean to say that this array, the number of elements, suppose here 10 is the size of a array. This means that you can save a 10 element in there. So 4 into 10, 4 is your 4 byte occupied by each element, that is your 32 bit. So 324 byte, sorry, 4 into 10, yeah. Yes. So 4 byte occupied by that, and it will be 40 byte of memory, total memory required. That was assigned by which keyword? This new keyword. This new keyword is responsible for assigning a memory to all the element of an array, and that will be of 40 byte because you are going to save a 10 element, and that is of integer type. But if I say about character, then character how much, if I change this to character array, then character occupy how much byte of memory? Character occupy how much byte of memory?
1 byte.
Okay. So 1 into 10, how much it will be?
10 bytes.
Yeah. So 10 byte of memory will going to be occupied by your character array. So this is about your explanation about this array. Array is a collection of homogeneous data. And when you want to save a data of a similar type, then you're going to use this array. And why the need of arrays aroused? Because the thing is that we have a variable which was holding only one data, but we want something that can hold a multiple data. So that's why the array concept was introduced, which is holding a homogeneous data which is of similar type. Array will not be used for holding different data type. I think somebody says that holding different data type, that is not correct. It is used to hold a homogeneous data type, not heterogeneous. And this is a way of declaring an array. A is the name of an array, hold 5 elements, 4 into 5, that is mean 20 byte. That means 20 byte of memory requires here. And one more thing, what is the structure of an array? The structure of an array will be look like, suppose for 5 element, if I say it is a contiguous memory. This is also I need to explain you. It's a contiguous memory. Contiguous means element will be going to save in a contiguous fashion. And they follow the index. Okay. Index means this is your 0. This is 1. This is 2. This is 3. And this is 4. As I said you, if you want to save a 5 element, then what will be the index starting from 0 to n minus 1? That is size minus 1. You can see here, I have written here. Yeah, you can see index will be start from 0 to size minus 1, that will be 4. So here 4. And suppose you have a data, this one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So how it will going to save? 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Any data you can save it, not only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. As it is integer type, you can save. Suppose if it is a character, then you can save a data like A, B, C, D, E, right?